We are very excited to be 2-0 in Mountain West Conference play. I've stated it, and a lot of people have, how difficult this league is. Every game, no matter who you play, no matter where you play, I don't think that you could say any game is a major upset, and most games probably not an upset. You play well, you'll have a chance, home or away. So we're feeling good that we're 2-0. We know that we're fortunate to be 2-0. An overtime win and a three-point win. And I'm sure we'll have more of those, hopefully with the same outcome as this league wears on. It's filled with immensely talented coaches and players. And I think this is a league that can stack up with any in the country, and glad to see that it's receiving the attention that it is. And I think this will be a big game nationally tomorrow when San Diego State, Vegas, both rated teams, both with high goals and aspirations, and both with very good players. We are close to being at 100% health, which is good. So I'm excited about the atmosphere in the building. I look out my window and I can see across the street at the ticket window, and it was 10, 11 deep until that last student ticket was passed out. And I do believe that 2,500 strong were given out. So it'll be a great atmosphere in this building tomorrow. Any questions for me?
Any setbacks with Xavier David's back or anything?
I'm sorry?
Any setbacks with Xavier David's back or anything?
Xavier's doing pretty good with his back. I'm say that cautiously because of how backs can be, but he practiced yesterday, and he practiced more than I wanted him to. I would pull him out, and he said, I'm fine, let me go a little bit more. So he didn't seem to be any worse because of the game with Colorado State. We did not practice Sunday, and he practiced with his usual intelligence and vigor yesterday, and I haven't heard anything from Tom, the trainer, so I'm assuming that he will be fine today.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about what you expect tomorrow out of UNLV, kind of them coming in here? What do you expect matchup-wise?
UNLV is a terrific team. UNLV is one of those teams that filled with expectations of others, and they have a long-standing history of success there. And expectations are always high, and even more so with the team that they had coming in this year. I think that Dave Rice, his staff, have done a terrific job of being able to put everything together, and it's still going on. Obviously, with Birch becoming eligible at mid-semesters, with Mosier dislocating his elbow, all those things factor in. But the more film I watch, the more impressed I am with the job that the coaches have done with this team and with how hard they play. They're a hard team to score on. It looks like you're going to score, you get by a guy, and then they got a shot blocker at the rim that takes stuff away from you. They're good. They're good. They're well coached. And this will be a hard game.
How do you prepare for a team that hasn't been at full strength all year except for the last game?
You prepare basically yourselves. And we spend most of the time worrying about us as opposed to our opponent. Then you go through what they like to do. You try to negate some of the things, try to make them go to the second, third options, try to make them have it a little more difficult to get to the sweet spots. But this is a good team. This is a good team. And Mosier started and played terrific against Air Force. So I know that gave him a great deal of confidence that he's back to form. He took a couple of hard hits, fell down on that elbow, bounced right back up. So he looks like he's good to go also, which is nice to see.
Coach, you've been here for the entirety of this league, and you've seen this rivalry against UNLV develop. Why do you think this has become become such a big rivalry for San Diego State?
I think, one, the closeness allows both teams, if they want to get fans there. And when our building was not sold out, there were more Vegas fans than Aztec fans. And they let us know it. But like everybody likes to go to Vegas. And now they have a double reason to go to Vegas when we play there. So I think that's part of it. But part of it also is the great games that we've had with them over a number of years. I mean, and it hasn't mattered who was the favorite. We've had some terrific games with them. And I think everybody likes that. Kids know one another. We recruit a lot of the same kids, or at least some of the same kids. And I think that lends itself to that kind of rivalry from within. It's been nice. It's been nice. It's been a good, healthy environment between the two teams. And I think I said this last year, that there's mutual respect. They want to pound us and we want to pound them, but when the game's over, we shake hands, hug, and genuinely say good game.
That said, if San Diego State does not stay in the Mountain West, this could be the last game, at least here in the league setting. Would you want to play them again? Would you play them again if you were not in the same league?
I have not talked to them about scheduling because we're still in the same league. But absolutely, I think this is a game that not only could but should continue being played if we're not in the league together. Obviously, if we're in the league together, we play. But if we're not, and I would have to think they would feel the same way. We have not talked about it, either side. But to me, it's a natural for both teams to want to play for all the reasons that you stated and I've stated.
Coach, there's reports coming out that the school might announce later this week or before the end of the month that the school will stay in the Mountain West. Do you have any comments on that? What is your knowledge of that?
I don't. As I have always said, I worry about what I have direct control over. I've got the rebels coming in here that's occupying all my thoughts. Privately, I voice my feelings, and I think I would just as soon keep it that way right now.
What kind of mismatch does Anthony Bennett present?
He leads them in every positive category you could lead a team in as a freshman. That's impressive. The one thing that jumped out at me, he shot more free throws than Jamal has. And Jamal gets to the free throw line a lot. So that tells you he's attacking, he's not afraid to bang. He likes to step out on occasion and shoot the ball, but he's a man, and he plays that way. He's immensely talented, and in some ways is the emotional leader when he's going well of that team. He's a handful. He's been that way for everybody, so we'll have our hands full.
And with Winston being high school teammates with him, has he told you anything about him, or have you asked any advice without it?
Winston played with him, so I'm sure just like they talk about us with some of the players that know one another, you know, we've talked to Winston, you know, give us an inside scoop on some of the things that he does and doesn't do, and I don't know that that'll have much impact on what happens, but yeah.
Coach, how tough is it with this league? It seems like every game is like a boxing terms, kind of like a title fight. No tune-ups, no team in the league that I don't want to say you can look at as a gimme, but everyone is just so good this year.
Someone else was talking about that same point today about in years gone by, even when we were good and had 3 or 4 teams that were top-heavy at the top, there were 2 to 4 teams at the bottom that you say, if the plane gets us there, we should win. That is no more. We used to be that team in the inaugural few years of the league, But there have been teams where you say you can play less than your best basketball and you'll probably win. If anybody says that now, they're going to get beat because it doesn't happen. This team is very good, very solid, from the best team to the team that's going to finish ninth.